Good morning. It is Betty Wynn here, coming to talk to you about my vegan journey. And I watched Tanny Raw this morning. It got me motivated to do a video again. So this is my second video that I've ever done. And Tanny brought up the idea of an oil tanker turning around really, really slowly, changing its direction. And I just thought this analogy is really fantastic in terms of what we're facing today with our finding our way with our lifestyle and trying to make some really big changes traditionally and with the huge pressure from the agribusiness that makes us feel that we need to stay eating milk and meat products. Tanny pointed out that every small change that you make is actually really big in terms of moving your tanker to a better direction. And I was thinking about what happened when I was at work yesterday, and I went on a job. I work as a home care nurse, and on our way back, myself and another nurse stopped for coffee. And rather than stopping at Tim Hortons, where they don't have any soy milk or almond milk, we stopped at a specialty coffee store, and they had soy milk and almond milk. And I don't like to drink coffee black. So that was a big win that I got to have coffee with an alternative milk in it. And then they had a bunch of different food to eat, and they had a vegan option that had honey in it. It was vegan other than the honey. So I said, no, I wouldn't eat that. Even though I really, really wanted to eat it, and I was really, really hungry, I chose not to get anything. So those are two very, very minuscule things that happened for me that were actually a really big deal. Because in the past, I was like, okay, I'll just get milk in my coffee. Or, okay, well, I'll just eat it with honey. But I stopped and I said, no, I am not going to do that. I'm going to step out of the fold. I'm going to step out of doing what everybody else does. And I'm going to make a stand. It's a very small stand. But over time, it makes a big difference. So I'm very, very proud of my minuscule changes. And when I was talking to the lady about the square with the honey in it, I said, is there any chance you would consider making a vegan chocolate brownie? Because that's something I will definitely come back for if you could make that for me. And she said that she talked to the manager and see if they could offer that. So I'm going to definitely go back and ask again for the chocolate vegan brownie. Because every now and then I go on a mission for chocolate, and I have got to have chocolate. So I don't want to make a whole plate of squares for my house because I would eat them all. But I'd rather go out and pay $3 or $4 and buy one square. So hopefully I can get some people in the community to make vegan treats for me when I'm out working and out in the community. Another issue that's come up for me that I wanted to mention was that my husband has been diagnosed with enlarged prostate, which is really normal for men in his family. His dad and his brothers and his uncles, and yeah, it's been going on a long time. So he said, well, this is just genetic for me, like it's what I get. Well, actually, no. So I've been reading this book that my dear sister put me onto called How Not to Die by Dr. Greger. And in this book, he talks about prostate cancer. Basically, it's about plant-based eating and why it's important due to research that's been done over the last 50, 60 years. They're showing that whole populations who never used to have prostate cancer, like the Japanese men before World War II, started being influenced by the Western SAD diet, the standard American diet, the SAD diet. And now that Japanese men eat 25% more milk products than they ever used to when they just had a strictly Japanese traditional diet, they now are influenced by milk products. They're now having a huge increase in their prostate cancer. And they talk about cows that are now they're being milked all through their pregnancy because they're kept pregnant all the time, so they keep milking and producing milk. The milk that's produced during their pregnancy, as it got much higher levels of estrogen, and of course men and women are eating this milk with the high estrogen in it, even, and this is cows that are organic and they're not being given bovine hormones to increase their milk production. So people that are drinking the milk with the bovine hormone in supplements are getting even more estrogen. So we see this huge increase in women getting breast cancer and men getting prostate cancer. It's the estrogen that's coming through the milk products. So that's just one piece about the milk. There's a whole bunch of other things about milk that are not good for your health, but this particularly is coming into my life because my husband has now got some concerns about prostate enlargement, which leads to higher PSA numbers when you're with your blood work, and then could possibly end up being prostate cancer, which I think he said 128,000 men in the U.S. die every year from prostate cancer. So we want to work at trying to stick with a plant-based diet, like Dr. Greger talks about in this book, How Not to Die. He also has a website called nutrition.org that, where is it? Nutrition.org? I think so. Where he talks about the different research projects that share valuable information that we just don't hear about because agribusiness wants us to buy the products that makes them billions and billions of dollars worth of extra profit, which is really what they're about. They're about selling goods and making money, not about promoting our health, which is really too bad about the way our society is set up. This is where we think, we'd like to be able to focus on people being healthier in general, but that's not a money-making deal to be promoting health. They want to be promoting products and people buying products. So that's basically it. I'm happy with the small movements that I've made, turning my tanker around and standing up for myself to try to fight my old habits and make healthier choices for myself. They're very, very small, minute things. But that's what's involved, is just really taking it one small piece at a time. I'm heading off to northern Alberta for the next week. I'm really excited about it. I'm going to be doing occupational health work, doing testing for workers on their hearing and their vision and their lung function. And the issue, though, while I'm up there, is I'm going to be living in a very small town of about 2,000 people, and I'll have to be looking for food to eat. And I'm pretty sure they're all farmers up there. They're not used to serving vegans who don't want to eat they don't want to eat animal and products. So hopefully I can stay on track and just take it one small step at a time while I'm up there and be able to be happy about the choices that I made while I was up there. So have a great September the 16th, and working on maintaining your tanker going in the right direction. Lots of love.